please do. Yes, looks it's working. Excellent.
Exactly. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Sometimes we have also people joining from APAC. So thank you very much for joining this Data Plus Women Zurich. So what is Data Plus Women? If it's the first time you heard about that and you just enter like by chance, it's welcome. It's a networking group for women working with or on data. And our objective is really to promote you and celebrate your achievements. If you have a use case, you want to show it, you want to speak, please contact us. Either like by this, I think it's a Google form, but you can also contact us by email. We are on social media, so please do so. We have like some boring stuff to talk about before like Samantha and Charlotte like having the fun part. So the story behind the Data Plus Women Zurich chapter, like we said, like the chapter exists in certain city in Europe. But Zurich has been founded by Olivia and myself in October 2019 when we were both working for Credit Suisse. And we had two physical events until the COVID started. And we decided to go online. So that's a reality. So that's why we maintain online. It's very flexible. We had like 15 or no, 17 now online events. And we are very happy about that. So thank you for your support, guys. And we hope to provide you even more better speaker next time. So if you have an idea, like I said, or you want to apply, please do so. So who are we? Because I'm speaking since 5 minutes, but you don't know. My name is I am leading the Tableau Center of Enablement for like a Swiss bank. So I'm working for Fontobel. My passion in life are obviously the chocolate and Tableau, but our Data Plus Women is not related to Tableau. So we usually spoke about more topics than only Tableau. We are not talking about competitors, obviously, because I will not be.
Is it? That's surprising, Annabelle.
I totally forbid it. No, like more seriously. We want like to also cover like everyone preference. I have the chance to have been named a visionary and ambassador, so thank you very much for people who are voting for me. It means a lot. And I have the chance to do that, to do a lot of fun with Olivia. Olivia is a data scientist at Meta. Yes, she moved out before we were working together at Credit Suisse. It's not the case anymore. And she loves surfing, ski touring, and books. And often she's hosting this webinar with me, like from a foreign country. So last time where she was in Costa Rica, having a superb
nice.
summer. Exactly. And yes, so what we wanted to say is that we are moving. So we are moving, meaning that before we used to have Splash for the event, and now we will use Bevy. So you will need to register into Bevy to be able to follow us, because we will even lost your contact. So if you haven't registered to Bevy, we will not receive any more our beautiful email telling us like how awesome is the next speaker that we have for you. So please do so. And we will also create a YouTube channel that gather all the previous videos, so you can watch us on replay while ironing or whatever we want to do. And without further ado, I let Olivia be less crazy about that and present like awesome speakers.
Thank you, Annabelle. And also, hello, good morning, good evening, whatever you want from my side. And my name is Olivia. And yeah, I have the honor to speak about the not so boring stuff right now. Will be short for sure. So just to give you an overview, we just have the welcome now, and then Charlotte and Samantha will talk about self-confidence and how to work on yourself, improve yourself. So I'm super excited about that. But before we jump into that topic, let me explain you who is speaking to us today. So Charlotte and Samantha, they're both founded Comet, which basically provides unique coaching solutions, right? And I think part of that you will cover in today's event. You will tell us something about self-confidence and how to speak up. And so I will not say more to that, but just to give you guys a bit of a more of an idea who Charlotte is. Previously, that's what I heard from our chit chat before. You were in several sales positions. And yeah, you already have 15 years plus of experience in this area, and now you're fully committed to Comet.
Correct. Yes. Thank you, Olivia. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you for the intro.
And then to our next amazing speaker, it's Samantha. As already announced, Charlotte and Samantha together created Comet. Before that, as far as I know, she was in the recruitment area and having worked there for also around 15 years plus before she finally founded Comet and is where she is right now.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro.
Without further ado, I don't
what a suspense. You're putting pressure, like, yeah, lucky us, we've been working on self-confidence, so it's good.
Yes, exactly. So yes, I guess the stage is yours now. We're all super excited, and I will stop sharing now and listen to you.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'll just take a minute to share my screen, and that should be all right now. Okay, everything okay for sharing the screen? All right, so yeah, let's kick off. Thank you, ladies, for the introduction. I'm just gonna take 2 minutes with Sam as well to give a word on ourselves and why we are here on the intro for this session around self-confidence. So my name is Charlotte. I've been indeed in the tech industry for the past 15 years. I'm a tech enthusiast. I love cars and cats. So for those who are based in France, you will understand the joke. For those, it's really, let's say, a word of mouth. So I entered actually the tech industry in 2008. I went through different sales positions within major US software companies, Salesforce to name it, or Tableau to name a few. I work mostly with men my entire career, which led to some great moments and some challenge as well, like bullying, for example, and I'll share some stories around that. So self-confidence has been helping me a lot to navigate in this male-dominant environment, and we will discuss that further during the session. And Sam?
Yes, thanks, Charlotte. So my name is Sam. To give you a bit more details, I've been evolving in the tech industry for the past 15 years. So I'm a keen traveler, entrepreneur, and coach. So I have 3 passions in life: people, traveling, and challenges. So you can see here one of the rally car I participated 3 years ago. So people, why? Because I was, as you said, into recruitment, headhunting. And I started in the same time my journey into personal development. Traveling, I'm a backpacker, so I love that. I love discovering new cultures, and I lived in 5 different countries. And challenges, because I set up my first company 13 years ago, and then 2 other ones together with Charlotte, actually. So Comet is one of them. So last year, we co-founded Comet with Charlotte. And our vision is really to create a more equitable and fair society where everyone has the chance to thrive and succeed. So we are on a mission to help women in tech become purpose-driven leaders. And I strongly believe that you have the power to transform your life, no matter your age, your religion, your lifestyle, or social situation, that everything is possible. So tonight, our humble intention is to help you tap into your dreams, hack your confidence issue, because confidence, is a vast topic, as you said. Years of, research, surveys, neuroscientific efforts to answer that question. Boring stuff as well, by the way. Mm-hmm. So our intention is really to give you practical tips, simple, accurate, but there's no magic formula or secret, except one thing, that you have to take action. So just stay with us till the end, because there will be a surprise at the end of the talk. So keep an open eye and attention span. And Charlotte, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So let me first ask you a question about confidence. If you would have confidence, how would your life be different now? How would your future be if you would project yourself and you would be full of confidence? What actually would more confidence allow you to do that you are not currently doing at the moment? Would you, for example, be able to say no without feeling guilty? Would you be better at setting up boundaries? Would you, I don't know, speak up at work? And another one that is quite common within us as women is, would you ask for this raise, right? That you most probably deserve. So yeah, Annabelle is saying I will be more successfully professionally for sure. Yeah, moving up my organization, lead other rather than working for others. Yeah, love this one. Correct. Well, the good news is, ladies, is that all of that you've just envisioned is within your reach. All right. So that's the first information that is important.
Sure. So let's start with self-confidence, where it comes from, actually. Etymology, not boring, I swear, but it's a Latin word, confidentia. So means trust and reliance. Basically, it refers to a person's belief in their abilities to succeed in a particular situation. So confidence is not a state, meaning that we can't say, I don't feel confident. Same with, I am born confident, or I have lost my confidence, because confidence is a skill that can be learned. And I love this definition myself, is confidence is a willingness to try. So confidence is not a feeling, it's really embodied in action.
Exactly, yeah. And if I want to share with you an example, and first like a research that a researcher at the university in Italy did an experiment. He actually asked women and men to complete a series of difficult puzzles. And at first, the women's scores were much lower. Do you have any idea why it was lower? That's an interesting one. Myself, I didn't find the answer, honestly, at the first. But the reason why the score of women were much lower at the beginning is because most women didn't even attempt to fix the puzzles. They were like, okay, I'm not going to try it. So what the researcher did is that they told each participant that they had to try to answer every single puzzles. And what happened is that the average score of women increased dramatically. It almost went further, matching further the scores of men. So what's interesting in this research is that the low confidence breeds your hesitation and inaction. But if you force yourself to actually take action, you'll do better than you ever thought. And I'm sure you've been recalling some experiences on which you're like, okay, I'm not capable of doing it. I'm not going to try it. You tried, you succeed. Or if you even failed, at least you learn something. So really, you build confidence over time. It makes you perform even better. So just think about this. Each time you don't feel like answering all the questions, or you don't think you feel like it because you don't know the answer, just like the woman in the study, give it a try. It's important to push yourself. And Sam will talk about a model that will probably help you, and we will give you some hacks in this session. But think about this like they did not even try at the beginning. So first, willingness to try.
Sure, and there's an interesting model in neuroscience. I don't know if you heard about it. It's the confidence loop. Actually, the confidence loops you have, if you want to click on the button, that would be great, probably to show it, Charlotte. Yeah, this is the one. So all starts with action, as usual. So the confidence loop means if we actually take action to do things, that will increase our competence, which then will increase our confidence, which allows us to take more action and so on. So as Charlotte said, yeah, the skill of confidence begins with being willing to try, because you keep trying over and over and you gain mastery. It's embodied in action. So the confidence loop means as well, stepping out of your comfort zone. Sorry to say that or not, but you don't create when life is easy, when you're doing things that you know, you're not growing, you're not gaining knowledge when life is easy, actually. So it requires courage, even though you are a newbie, you feel afraid. But who has never been a newbie in this room, even the multi-billionaires people, super businessmen. And yeah, speaking of myself, I grew up really in a very hostile male-dominant environment. And I was really limited to being an introvert. So I was hiding my voice, hiding myself. And trust me, if I had listened to my inner voice, I wouldn't be here in front of you. I wouldn't be an entrepreneur. I wouldn't have been doing what I've done so far. So yeah, you have to push yourself and put it into action. So confidence is a skill that must be built through repeated acts of everyday courage, if I had to sum up.
But there is other good
courage.
News.
Yeah,
exactly. Around courage.
News.
Yes. Courage is like, sometimes it's a word that can, afraid people, and especially us as women is like, okay, I'm not a courageous person. But have you ever had a look on the etymology? Again, we love etymology at Comet, of courage. It's coming from the Latin word cor, which means heart. So courage is the word of heart. And I'm sure, ladies, you all have heart, right? So not from let's say, a physical perspective, the heart is beating, which is a good thing because that means you are alive, but also in your heart, you have emotion, right? So someone tell you before the talk, Annabelle, think that in 1 hour you will have spoken and be successful. That changed my perspective. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So courage is really a hard word. So as Sam was saying, confidence is a skill. It can be learned through repeated acts of everyday courage. And what exactly is heart? When we take a step back, heart is the seat of feelings and emotion. So we can feel usually in our heart when we are happy, when we are sad, when we feel afraid or angered, and so on and so forth. So feelings and emotions are actually triggered by our beliefs. And what is important to understand here is that how our beliefs are created. So first, what you need to understand is beliefs birth through repetition, emotion, and that leads to conviction. So it's the REC concept that is easy to remember. So each time you get onto a repeated emotion, whether it's positive or negative, it creates a conviction, hence it creates a belief. So why do you think brands advertise their brand on TVs, on medias? They always repeat the same message because people start to believe what they hear and what they see. If I give you an example of the Coca-Cola ads, they are let's say the best brand doing the best advertising, is that I'm sure you recall that advertising during a Christmas Eve, where we see everyone gathered into a table during Christmas, and then Santa Claus is coming. It's very emotional, and they've been repeating that message over and over again. We love this ad because, and we, no matter what, we know that Coca-Cola is full of crap and sugar. It's not good for your health. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. But still, we feel good when we see those advertising. We're like, okay, that's so cute, because it recalls emotion, right? So your beliefs are, let's say, were born through repetitions. So if I want to share you something very easy to memorize on how we create belief. And so belief, it's really like wearing glasses of a certain color. If I give you an example, I'm taking those glasses of a certain color that change everything you see to that color. I look nice, huh? It looks like I'm skiing right now. So in yellow. So if you wear yellow glasses, you tend to see everything as yellow, even if the sky is blue, if your shoes are black. So in a nutshell, your beliefs are your reality, right? So it's really wearing glasses and deciding. But most importantly, you can choose a shiny color, or you can decide to have a dark color and see everything in black, because what you believe becomes real. Just remember this sentence. It's very important, because we won't go into, let's say, neuroscientific processes and so on and so forth, but what you believe become real. After you want to have it shine, which are your growing beliefs, or dark, which are your limiting beliefs. So you are 100% accountable for what you believe. Of course, it's been, influenced by different things over time. We won't dig into this, but just to remember the analogy of how you create beliefs. So the question now you should ask yourself to reflect is, which glasses do you want to wear? Do you want to take the shiny one? Do you want to take the dark one? I'm not saying that it's always easy. That's why I have two. But most of the time I'm using those. I'm using the shining ones. So Sam, I think it's over to you around what pattern.
Yeah. Exactly. So let me give you the main patterns that women design over time. And let's start with a famous one in the community, I'm sure, which is perfectionism. Perfectionism. Many women don't feel like they can be confident until they are perfect, right? Or close to it. Perfection is actually the lowest standard that you can reach, because it doesn't exist. But still, we continue with that. So perfectionism is mainly a female issue that can pollute, of course, your entire life, because this perfectionism syndrome, called the imposter syndrome, I'm sure you heard of it multiple times. It's actually our fear of not being good enough. The fear beyond that is that we are being exposed as a fraud. So perfectionism makes you risk-averse, filled with doubt, and also keeps you from taking actions that build your skills and, of course, your confidence. So let me share you a research from HP. I think Google led the same. They found that men apply for promotion when they just fit 60% of the job qualifications, actually, as opposed to women. They have to meet 100% of the requirements. I'm sure that rings a bell. It's not a step up, actually, to fill 100% of the requirements. It's just your comfort zone. So just the same job, actually. So it's a major confidence killer.
Yeah,
actually.
It's actually one of the most, let's say, important one. There are two others. The second one is the meritocracy. You may have heard of it, because, as women, we tend to be really work alcoholic. What we do most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, is the invisible work that goes often unnoticed, because we believe as women that someone will knock at the door, congratulate us, and give us that raise that we think we deserve. And we most of the time we deserve it, but we are just waiting. And what is interesting is the confidence gap has been between men and women at work has been well documented. There are lots of researches around this, but one study that has been recently conducted, I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, indicates that women are, and bear with me, 4 times less likely to ask for a raise. And that's completely true. I did it myself, honestly. A long time ago, at the beginning of my career, I realized that I was, I thought I was paying good money for the work I was doing and my sales position, until I realized I was less paid than the entire crew. So at first I was very angered at myself. I was like so frustrated and so on and so forth. And I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to go get that money because I deserve it. I was, on quota, and everyone was like, you're not going to get it, especially your entourage. Those times are like, crazy, don't do it. So yeah. And so what I did is that I requested a meeting with the VP of sales, which at the time was 2 or 3 levels above me. I was, let's say, a young sales. So you can imagine on how I was very, very scared. I thought that I was about to die, but I said, okay, I have courage. I deserve that money. So I need to go for it. And guess what? I got it, because he thanked me and said, okay, I didn't know that there was such a gap. So the months after, I was aligned. So I'm not saying the story is going to repeat each time, but again, it's taking action and it's your willingness to try and say, okay, I deserve it. Because again, remember the confidence loop. The more you try, the more you're gaining confidence, right? Even though it can be, let's say, a failure, I would call it a learning. So all the preparation, all the planning that we tend to do, behind the scene work is important. That's true. But it's never the work that's going to lead to any advancement of your career. It's really go for it. All right. And there is a third one, which is very interesting to my perspective.
Yeah, actually another interesting pattern, which is caring, because we know we care a lot, and very often we prioritize the needs of others before our own needs. So we are a little bit, let's say, in a sacrifice mode regularly. I can't because I have either my children or my family I have to take care about, so many examples. And it's actually coming from a long time ago. And let me explain this historical perspective about the why. And historically, so a long time ago, men were hunting for food and women took care of the children in the community. So women developed great skills, such as the ability to detect the potential and the natural skills of others in the community. Great. Second, the importance of collaborating each other, getting along with each other, encouraging a lot of the other people. Third, they learned how to communicate smoothly with people and adapt. So it's really part of our DNA, let's say, heritage. We are particularly good at collective intelligence. And as we all know, women have been assigned the role of caring children with cultural factors, social factors. And we see caregiving as quite natural or compromising, we could say as well. So we do it spontaneously, even if not requested. And another example, because we interviewed hundreds and hundreds of women for Comet, and I'm an ex-headhunter, so I know a lot of people, especially women. And in the ecosystem, we know a head of product in a scale-up that is, super performant. She's super smart. And I had actually hired this lady 10 years ago, something like that, 10, 11 years ago for a scale-up company. And she was super skilled. So the CEO told her, naturally proposed a role of CPO for this company. And she took 48 hours to reply back. And finally she said, no, because, I don't feel it. I have to take care of my child. It's going to be complicated. So what she did, she proposed to hire a new boss for the role. So she hired this guy for the role of CPO to manage her directly. It's quite weird, but that's the way it is. And in the end, what happened? Unfortunately, this guy was such an oppressive person that she left the company because he was bullying her that time. And it led to a burnout. So sometimes we have to think about it. Caring, but where are we stopping this caring perspective?
Exactly, yeah. So ladies, I think, you're not going to build confidence by only thinking about doing this. So put a bet on yourself and act, because courage is what you tap into, and it comes first, and that's okay, because you all have it. Again, it's coming from the heart. Confidence is what you build over time. It's only through action that you unlock the power inside you, and we all have it. There is no doubt about it. It's when you take action that you gain skills to become confident. So really, we invite you to push yourself, to try, and I insist voluntarily on this word. You have to take action over and over again. So sometimes it will be complex, sometimes it will be easy, and you will succeed. Sometimes you will experience failure, and that's okay, because each time you will learn and you will gain mastering confidence. All right, so just to give you an example from a sales deal, I'm not going to go into the details, but I was in that software company where we had long sales cycles, something like 18 months. And I've been fighting a lot also against myself to prove that there were a deal to sign for this customer. And I experienced, people telling me, Charlotte, there is no deal. And those guys were my bosses, my colleagues. It's like, okay, you're getting, you want that deal, but there is no deal. You're never going to make it. And each time I was learning something, but I was convinced to one thing, is that I wanted to try. I wanted to try because I knew it was something that going to give me and help me build the self-confidence. I was not waiting. I took action. So of course I had difficult meetings even with the customer, who was telling me, okay, it's not a priority. It's not a project. I'm sure if there is any salespeople in the room, it will recall. So sometimes I felt like I was desperate. But at the end, I landed the deal, and I was so proud, because really it helped me build the self-confidence, because I understood I was capable of it. So again, confidence is your willingness to give it a try. Honestly, it's very important. So now, are you ready to change your glasses and avoid the usual pattern that we've just been telling you in the last minutes? Over to you, Sam.
Yeah. So are you ready to change your glasses? Yeah. So the first thing would be further together. What does that mean? As explained previously, women, we are particularly good at collective intelligence. So when we are sharing knowledge, challenging each other, collaborating all together, we are gaining confidence. And as a minority, especially in tech, I think last figures were about 22-23% globally, I think, something like that. We can really relate to others and dramatically progress. So women in groups bring more creativity, innovation, and support each other. So connect with your peers in groups that are plus women and other groups, join networks, communities, and really share. Because while sharing knowledge, it's super important, highs and lows, you realize you're not alone. And that's super important. You're not alone, you can connect with others and you can perform better. That's super important. And I was the first one to think, sorry for my French, this is bullshit. Those groups lead to nowhere. It's about self-marketing, it's show off, nothing more. And I actually understood that was great. I could share with others, entrepreneurs, other women. We share things, we have things in common. So it's super important to really collaborate all together and continue the path, the ride together. Yeah. So that's the first one, really, community is super important. Second is what we call a success tracker. So it's not a habit tracker. I may have some of you in this group using habit trackers, but here is success. Why? Because we are not celebrating, most of us, I would say, little wins. So keep track really of your progress, celebrate your progress, what you've done personally at work or in your family, your daily life, I would say. Every single day is important. Why? Because it will make you happier, more productive, more engaged in your work. And how, I'm using myself, I think you can see it, a notepad, a Word doc, keep track of what you accomplished every day. Personally, I do it in books, so like this, but you have docs, you have everything. Sometimes it's directly in your computer. I've been doing it for years because, I was the perfectionist person myself. So I was the not enough person. Anytime I was finishing up a task, a meeting with a client or a webinar, my first reaction was, I should have done this. I should have done that. Why? Do you think there's any improvement on this, on that? It's quite common. But actually, I realized that I should first start with a positive feedback for myself and for my personal recognition, and see that, yeah, I've done great things. So let's have a look at it every day. Let's put in a notepad or anywhere, because each time you have to face a challenge, you can read this book and you can realize that you're good and you're achieving great things.
Yeah, this one is very important. In the room, is there anyone who's actually are you guys tracking your success on a book or something? Yes, we can share a sample page of your success tracker. Yeah, thank you for the question. But is anyone okay? Google Sheet works as well.
Yeah, Google Sheet, for example.
And it can sound, I would say, naughty or whatever, but it's really important. Sam and I, we know each other for 10 years. We starting that idea long time ago, at the time we were smoking, and we said, okay, during the aperitif, we said, okay, there's something we should do around this, because we are too hard with ourselves. And honestly, it's really like when we were little kids. So I have mine here, and I usually take books that resonate for me, with a cover, with a quote, whatever, but really start this. It's really important, and we will share a template in a PowerPoint. It's fine for each 3 months period. Yes, you can do it as well, Erin, on a weekly basis, because it's about little wins as well. Like, for example, I'm proud today because I've been, I went outside, I went for a run, or whatever you think that makes you feel good and more happier and more productive and more engaged. That can be work things, but anything is like, that can be, okay, I'm happy because I did not yell after my kids, or whatever that makes you feel good. There is, I would say, no specific rule, but on the tracking and really overcoming that. So very important on the success tracker. The third one is visibility, ladies. You need to become more visible. So keep calm, everything is going to be okay, and show your talent. And to answer, Patricia, to your question, gratitude journal, it's kind of this. That works as well. We will share another technique. It's very important. So show your talent. If you want to become more confident, as we said, you need to take action. So that means doing the things that are uncomfortable. So, for example, the most visible place that you have at work is in meetings, right? So we have shifted into an hybrid world. Most of the meetings right now can be virtual, but also on site. So when you are going into meeting, do not stay quiet. Yes, I know you're saying, but it requires, I'm not feeling confidence. It requires courage, and you have it. You can start with just little statement, or share your ideas, because you are able to do this. Just share it for 30 seconds if it's okay. You can practice in the community. That's correct, Olivia. It's very important, in a safe place. And I mean, even though in on-site meetings there is no risk, it's just in your brain, there is a part of your brain that is telling you you're gonna die. Basically, it's about fear. But just for the record, fear, the analogy is fantasized experiences appearing real, right? So you're not going to die on speaking up at work. It's not taking a micro and speaking in front of the people at first, but just first tips to become visible. If you are looking to ask for a raise, all right, my advice to you, because I've been doing it myself and it's been working, do it as you would negotiate for someone else. we are caring women, all right? So we give ourselves much better for others. So, and it will help you make it less personal. So if you are looking for a raise, just try to engage and picture yourself how you would be someone else. It will, you know, put a distance and put a situation where you cannot run and you have to do it. Yeah, that's another option. And it will decrease your doubt and your fears. So you will decrease the pressure that you put on your shoulder. So share your ideas, 30 seconds, minutes to begin. Another tips, an example, when you go on to on-site meetings, please get a seat at the table. Do not excuse to be yourself in the corner of the room and trying to not being visible. So I give you one tip that I've tried and I've taken it over time. Really sit next to the most important person in the room. So sit next to the GM, sit next to the decision maker, whether it's in the customer meeting, but sit next to him or to her, even better. It will be so it's really, really important because it will give you emotions that, again, it's possible. So I'm using the Mad Men because to be honest, I haven't found so many pictures on a woman seated next to let's say the decision maker or the GM. I've been doing it for years. It's really helping you become visible because in a crowded environment, you know, we are crowded with lots of information. So it's important, you know, to become visible and really take the visibility glasses, right? So take the seat at the table. It's really important. So use that tip. It's working. I can guarantee. It's everything. You're not gonna die. Your brain is telling so, but nothing will happen. And the last one for you, Sam.
Yeah, another one, clarity. You know, 80% of your success is between your ears. So 80% of your success is about your mindset. Mm-hmm. So when we coach or mentor women in our groups, there's always a question of clarity. And by the way, clarity is reducing your level of stress. So it creates coherence in your brain. And when you know where you are going, life is easier. You don't overthink. What do I mean by clarity? So the brain is super happy when you write down things, mm-hmm, and very specific things, clear and realistic. So I think by the time we're calling that SMART objectives, but yeah, specific, clear and realistic. So it's not about, for example, we have entrepreneurs, I want more money. How much? Is it 50K? Is it more? Is it less? How much and when? It's really important for your brain to know, because when you write it down, when it's clear, it can memorize it. And then after writing it down, you can visualize it. How and when, yeah. So when in the morning and in the evening, just before going to bed, is better time. Why? Because your brain has specific frequency waves, what we call. So we are in beta most of the day. Then you're going to, not going into details, but you know, you have alpha, theta, gamma, and so on. But just the moment you're gonna go to bed, it's important to have your visualization done. So it can be, of course, your objective or see yourself in a positive situation. For example, when you ask for a raise, see yourself successful. It's mm-hmm. important because that will be there all night long and you will gain confidence afterwards. And then, of course, you write, you visualize, and you act. So actions change things. Of course, as Charlotte said a couple of times, it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes. It's your brain saying, oh no, please, I want to stay on that couch watching Netflix. That's perfect, you know, but that's not going to change your life if you don't move and if you don't take action. Mm-hmm. So yeah, anytime I'm doing things like webinars, for example, or meetings with clients and so on, I'm visualizing myself in a positive outcome. And I'm stepping out my comfort zone anytime I can. So again, knowledge, and knowledge is power.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Anything in the chat? Yeah, you can ask questions, no problem.
Yes, please ask questions to those amazing speakers. I have to say, listening to you already spreads or speaks for itself. The way you present,
Cool. Thank you.
the way you describe things, I really have to say, it speaks for yourself. So please, audience, and this chance and ask questions.
Sure. Don't really hesitate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me maybe
keep on.
conclude. Yeah, do a couple of things.
We just maybe we can. There is just a wrap up on the conclusion, and then we can go on to the question. There is something we want to share with you. So Sam, it's just I let you conclude.
Really. Conclusion. He's a bit tired. So the conclusion, really, courage. If we had to sum up everything, births confidence, that the community nurtures it, and taking action affirms it. So when you have confidence, let's imagine yourself, you get paid more, you'll have a better job, maybe better position, you will be listened, you will have more impact, you could influence people. So confidence is really a skill that can be learned. So it's, as we said a couple of times, it's your willingness to try and take action. So that's critical in business and in life for fulfillment. So let's go for it.
Yeah. So ladies, I'm sure you will dare to be yourself. We are launching today, and we take the opportunity, and thank you, Data Plus Women Zurich, for us to launch a 30-day challenge to dare to be yourself. We have a community on a platform which is called Comet Tribe. It's a private group available on both desktop and a mobile app, where we post daily free content to gain skills around confidence and around other topics. I'll post the link in the chat. You just have to click create your account, free content for the 30 days challenge for every people who will post, be active on the platform. We are happy to get you 30 minutes of coaching, mentoring, any questions you have around yourself. More generally, there is no wrong question. So just to finish up, there is a movie that we want to share. It's only, let's say, 2 minutes, just to show you what is around confidence. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 second. I need to stop sharing this and go on to another one. Where is it? I've lost it. Yeah, is it this one? Yeah, I've lost it. Okay, so I need to pass the publicity. Okay, just give me 1 sec right here. And I need to, can I do a new share? Yes, here, share. Can you hear the sound? No? Okay.
My headset right here. The sound now? Okay.
The screen, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Could you enlarge a little bit?
Hi.
So it's an old video, so apologies for the pixels, but
stop sharing. But maybe we can put it on
No,
the...
it's gone, Charlotte. Charlotte.
Sorry.
We
I'm
will
gonna
be
stop
able
sharing though.
to share maybe the YouTube anyway with the audience.
Yeah, it's not working. I lost it.
We see your screen with
Yeah, Charlotte.
I cannot find it anymore. So
Share the link here.
I cannot share it. Okay, I'll stop sharing. I cannot find it. I cannot find the link. Where is it?
And we have the music still running somewhere.
Oui. I'm just trying to find where to disappear.
That was a great
the link. I
surprise.
cannot
Thank you.
find it.
We can deactivate the sound from Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's weird. No, honestly, I cannot find it. It's weird. Okay.
But that's
Where
good,
is it?
because in the meantime, we have people
That's
like
the first time I'm having this. Weird.
close everything. No, that's stuff.
I have no idea where it is. Sorry about that. It's
Somewhere in your desktop,
I
anyway.
have no idea. Where is it? I have no.
You
I
can
can't-
close all your windows.
Yeah.
Except for the Zoom.
Yes,
It's
I cannot find it.
Don't worry. We'll send the link.
The link, yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
send the link.
emotional. I remember having seen it like recently. I was crying because the lady like just ran. She was like very far behind. And I don't know if it was because
Okay, I'm gonna leave and I come back because I have no idea why it's not working.
Yeah, come back.
So I make you the video for the one who missed it. So she's very far behind and she started like running like crazy. I think that she was running on her own time or sometimes. And I think that the crow really motivate her to go and run, and she overcome everyone. And all the other ladies are also running, but she's like,
Yeah.
it's like very emotional. I was crying, but
I think we'll
We have
send the link. That
questions.
will be easier, you know.
yes, we will send the link. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If you didn't like my interpretation of the video, don't worry.
That was perfect. Thanks for helping. All right, so I will wait for Charlotte to be back. Hopefully she'll be back.
Yes. In the meantime, again, I guess you can think about some questions.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
I
back.
have two questions.
Ah,
We already have two questions on the Q&A.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
she's back. Okay, excellent.
And somebody shared the link, I think, in the chat as well.
Yeah. So can you see, on the chat? So YouTube, thank you for sharing. And I'll share as well the link of Comet Tribe. And so we had two questions already, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have two questions. One question would be, how do I break through the limiting mindset I have when I haven't been where I want to be?
Sam, you want to start first answering on this?
Okay, so you have a limited mindset. That's what you were saying about yourself, all right. So you want to go somewhere, but you have to take action, basically. That's what I will say. So I don't know the situation. It's complicated to answer, to reply to those questions because I don't know the situation, what you've done or not done, but I would say take action. Even though you fail, in any case, you will learn.
Yeah.
I think the other question is related to that, or maybe a bit more details around it. How do we break through mindset that when I get to where I want to be, I won't be able to manage my blessing? And how do I handle the blessing when I just want to stop and break away to just be myself?
So I would first answer that it's good that you're thinking about the blessing first. It's a very good news. I would recommend that you really start tracking your success and bless yourself around this, because in your question, if I understood correctly, that means that you've done a first breakthrough. So don't be too hard with yourself, you know. And positive self-talk is something that can be helping. Writing as well, just writing down, because sometimes we have, and most of the time I would say, lots of thoughts in our head that can be most of the time negatives or hard on ourselves. That's, you know, just to give you an overview, as human being, we think most of our thoughts are negative. We think 70,000 thoughts per day on average, and 90% of them are negative. So don't be too hard on yourself, and, you know, just try and write down what is it that your success. It will help shift your mindset and of course your belief, because it's mostly the belief that are, you know, not helping usually on what is it that we want to take action or not. Is it answering your question, or
maybe you can quickly say something in the chat? Yeah. We got a thank you.
Okay, cool.
I don't see any other question at the moment, but I have one.
Okay, cool.
How do you actually cope with failures? So imagine you tried, you basically took the courage, and then something negatively happened, and then you think, you have thoughts like, okay, I will never do that again, because obviously I got negative feedback.
Well, yeah, that's a very good question, you know. I can answer partially, Charlotte, if you want to reply.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well.
Yeah.
But what I would do, what I'm doing regularly, because it happens, and when you're an entrepreneur, you know, it's not, you have a lot of highs, a lot of lows as well. And what I'm doing is, anytime I have a failure or something tough happening, I'm asking, where is the gift? Because there's always a gift behind that. And even though you felt, I don't know, client meeting for some reason, or you didn't have this raise, it will lead you to somewhere else. So there's always a gift, and it's always a positive outcome.
Yeah. And I would add, when you say, Olivia, dealing with failure is first, that means that from a mindset perspective, you know, you're thinking failures and not learning, right? Each time there is something that you fail, is more like something that you learn. And we are saying this, but I mean, it's, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Like, and over my career, I have experienced lots of deals that I have lost, and it was not a failure. There is always something, because you've been learning. But the first reaction that we have been conditioned and programmed with is, oh, that's a failure, you're not good enough. And if I give you an analogy, at school, teachers are highlighting in red what you've been missing, not what you've been succeeding with, you know? So that's how we've been conditioned in saying, okay, you're missing something here. But in some schools, there is, in some ways, we should highlight what we have been succeeding at, what we have been doing great, because it's empowering us, it's giving us more confidence and more willingness to try. But at school, I'm talking about France only, because I don't know the other countries, because I'm from there. It's a lot like that. It's a lot like in red, you've been missing this, you suck, you're not good enough. So that's why we've developed the, I'm not enough. I'm the fear of not being enough. So yeah, each time you think you fail, just try to twist it and say, okay, what have I learned over this failure, or the thing that I've not been able to succeed at?
Thank you.
It's the same. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, as far as I remember, right? Not scores or whatever, but yeah, we've been programmed a lot around that. So it's work, and it's on every little wins. Again, I recall on the presentation, it's important. it's like we would not ask you to climb the Everest right now, even though for us, I mean, we celebrate little wins. We are very happy to speak with you tonight. It's really a blessing for us just to make sure that we can share what has been working for us, what has been not working. It's not simple every day. We are not looking to be perfect. We're just trying, you know, to experience things and say, okay, I'm taking action. That's the most important. Does that answer your question?
And we are very happy to have you today.
Okay.
Just like to make a joke, I don't know what you are talking about, Charlotte. I'm also studying in French, and my professor always put very good, excellent, very good points.
Of course.
Was it the same in mathematics or whatever, or only in French?
Yeah. Okay. But yes, I know what you are talking about, and I was a very, very stressful student all my year, and always my parents always tell me, okay, you come with a 18 out of 20, which is a very good. Where are like the 2 missing? That was the education I received. So I was very focused on what I am missing, and if I would have been a different focus, maybe my life would have been less stressful.
Any other questions or advice or any thoughts you'd like to share? I can see one message. Tableau I've brought to my life is the community of Data Plus Women. Yeah, great. Yeah, exactly. Community is very, very important. Yeah, we are as women, we need to gather, and especially being in minorities as women in tech, it's very important, and it's really part of our DNA and our heritage. We like that. So that's why each time we gather all together, even though with men, I mean, it's important. We love that. It's really part of the DNA of human beings, most generally. But it's even stronger within women. So,
I have a question for you girls. I know it's not the topic, so maybe you should come back.
Of course, yeah, for sure, with pleasure.
Let us know.
My problem is like I have the feeling that people don't have confidence in me. So either I don't transpire self-confidence, that's why people don't have confidence in me, or it's maybe just like me freaking out and saying. So I think that sometimes my missed opportunity is not that professionally, is not that I cannot do the job, is that the job will not given to me, even if I apply for it, because I don't transpire self-confidence.
So that's your interpretation. Yeah,
exactly.
But
so is it like,
how do you know that?
Like,
do you have people saying to you, you're not, I don't trust you, literally, or is it more you have this impression?
Exactly, I have this impression.
Okay. So it's not
exactly
directly given to you as a feedback.
But it's true that I have seen like lost opportunity professionally, and I always wonder if it's like because I don't transpire self-confidence, if I will be more self-confident, is it like will I have the job, or like it's just like how to improve like the confidence that others have on me. So you should come back.
Yeah, for sure. It's like self-confidence is a very broad topic. What we have been trying to do is try to simplify it and just showing you that, you know, nothing is impossible, honestly. So it's, again, I mean, Annabelle, you've been saying, and that's interesting, is like, I don't feel confident. Confidence is not a feeling. Remember, it's really your willingness to try. So it's about, you've been learning some things on the fact that you missed some jobs opportunities. So you can take action on that because you've been learning some stuff, but it's about, you know, how you picture yourself and what is around your self-esteem. I think it's more around this portion of self-confidence, which is the value that you give on you, how worthy you think, how worthy. Yeah, that's yeah.
I think I'm very wealthy.
It's good. good. Yeah, it's perfect. But yeah,
I have PowerPoint about how worthy I am.
That's great. So next time you have an interview or so ever, you can use it as your PowerPoint presentation. Or what you can do, Annabelle, is join the Comet tribe and put the PowerPoint and present you. I mean, yeah, again, since it's free, there is nothing, it's just we post our free content on this. We want to really build a Comet community because, as we said, it's very important. So feel free to join. We will post content, and if you want any challenge and so on and so forth, that's something we are going to do as well. So it's a safe place because it's a private group. It's a mobile app, so we will go on live streaming. So yeah, Annabelle, feel free to post your PowerPoint and explain who you are. Honestly, I'm not kidding. It's practice. It's about saying, okay, next time you will have to do it, whether it's for a job interview or for your job or anything. Believe me, it's going to be completely different because the more you practice, whether it's speaking publicly or anything. I mean, just to give you an example, Serena Williams in the tennis, do you think she just plays tennis once a day? I mean, she plays tennis every day and she practice a lot. I mean, both sisters, honestly. So they don't have any talent. They've been practicing. People tend to make believers that, Mozart had a talent, the Williams sister has talent. No, they've been practicing a lot with different techniques. Mental rehearsal is one of them, but we don't have
visualization as well. They visualize a lot. Different techniques.
Hope that I start like sooner to do that.
But honestly, I mean,
last 4 or 5 years, but I should have started like sooner.
That's okay. There is no, don't be too hard on yourself. Again, it's okay. The most important is really, no, I'm not kidding. It's give it a try and start. And it's just like there is a part of your brain that is telling you it's the reptilian one telling you that you're gonna die. That one is very lazy. So that's the one which makes us most of the time saying, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it later. And that inner voice that you hear is like, no, Olivia, no, don't do it right now. Stay safe. It's nothing, you will see later. So and that part needs to be educated, and it's working. It's something that you can do. We can all do it. And all the people who are successful are doing it. Believe us, we've been reading a lot and trying lots of things and doing lots of things. And it's not bullshit. It's just like at some time,
I know that my feeling towards that changed 4 or 5 years ago. When I changed job, when I launched Data Plus Women with Olivia, because we wanted to have a place and they were known in Zurich, and we say, I will not say the word, let's do it. Because otherwise no one will create the space for us, right?
So you took action.
Exactly. Exactly. The first meeting I was like feeling very bad. The second meeting less bad. And that's
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can be proud of that. You can put it on your tracker.
Yes, I'm super proud. I have a dashboard showing all the events that I have done.
And it's
a great community because you can contribute in other women's life. So that's a good thing.
And Patricia was saying, in your experience, Patricia, women are not good at fake it until you make it, and men are. That's a belief. That's the dark glasses, my dear. Right? That's the dark glasses. So I can tell you, because I had the same, I was surrounded with male all the time saying, okay, they are better than me. And guess what? We tend to compare to others people all the time. And that's not nurturing our self-confidence. That's the reverse. It's like, okay, oh, he's so good. Oh, that's not fair. Focus on you and work on yourself. Get with your peers, people that makes you feel good, so that you can work on building your self-confidence. And I can tell you we have the same brains, right? We have the same brains with men. So it's really important. And I can tell you it's working and especially in sales, it was very hard because, you are comparing to each other all the time with the numbers, or you're the best, blah, 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 and etc. And he's been achieving and you're not achieving and you feel crap. So it's not comparing to others. It's the best way to lower your standard. It's one of the major killer. It's coming with perfectionism, actually. So it's not about faking it. It's about, using some tactics and not to be too hard on yourself. Writing down and say, okay, I'm proud about this one. We don't give a shit about what people think, honestly. And we've been, again, conditioned on that. It's like, oh, they're going to think I'm too bad, or I think I'm feeling ridiculous or whatever. But nothing is going to, no one is seeing you writing down on your journal or whatever. It's really helping. So yeah.
I also love how you're always saying that we should take small steps, that we should work on it, that it's a process. It will not happen overnight, right? It will not happen when we start today and tomorrow will be all good. And so
Sam told you a story, like she was an introvert. Now she's speaking in front of audiences. On my end, I was very shy when I was at college. Just to give you a story, I was saying to my mom, I don't want to wear red socks because I don't want people to see me. And I chose a job in sales. So everything is possible. It's just at some point, you're living experiences. And when I told that story to another client the other day, I was like, I don't believe you being shy. Yes, I can tell you. Ask my sister. She was like, so I've been working on it, because the day I understood that it's a skill that you can build. So I'm still making progresses. I'm not saying that next time we'll speak in front of an audience of 1,000 people, I'll go like that. It's not true, but it's about practicing. It's about giving it a shot and not wait and say, okay, it's really a skill.
I think I wanted to add also is like that's something I learned when I was a sales. I had a boss that was like very, but she was fantastic. Really, she was fantastic. And when you ask for a raise, maybe today they will not give it to you. It's not a problem. Come next 6 months, come next year. Because she always told to me, Annabelle, if a client don't want to let me enter by the door, I will enter by the window. And she managed to, and even the client told me, okay, open an account because your boss will not let me escape. No, indeed.
Exactly. And you've said it, I mean, trying over and over again is like, and visualize you having that raise, and it's working. If you start to, negotiate on behalf of, you would be someone else, really it makes it less personal, and it's working. So it's quite important.
Gives you the distance. True.
Do you see any other question in the chat?
No, there are no questions.
We went for the aperitif.
And they're gone.
Or they started on their success tracker,
That's a good idea. And first success that you can put in the journal is that you've been attending that session because you've been eager to learn something new, and that's great. You should be proud of this. Honestly, I'm not kidding, and I'm not saying that because it's us speaking. It's really celebrating little steps and wins. It's really important that you give yourself a shot. We are all worth it. And we are, when we are seeing over the world, there are ladies who are successful, role models. We are all capable of that. They have no magic on this. Honestly, it's about trying and get a good knowledge of yourself. What is it that you need to work and improve? So as you said, Olivia, yes, it's really a process. It takes time. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes a bit difficult, but that's okay. It's life, huh?
Yeah, I love that. For the people that are still listening in, I guess we're going to share the comment link and any other information also on our Tableau Data Plus Women page, or even via LinkedIn, right? We can all share that, because I think there was a huge interest in how to get involved with Comet.
Okay, cool.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a pleasure.
If there is any other question, register to the comment link. That's the best way to reach out to us. LinkedIn as well. We are posting on a regular basis just to give you some tips as well. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good day for all our American ladies. Honestly, so yeah, thank you so much. We are very happy that you've been learning some stuff. There are plenty of tools, and our goal is really to make it not boring, because we love to have fun. So yeah, so sorry for the link. It took me two minutes to find it, and yeah,
We'll put
but
it
anyway,
on the comment link in any case.
we'll post
So
it on
you'll
the
get
comments.
it.
I think there is someone who posted as well in the chat, but yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Have
Thanks
a good
a lot.
day. Thank you, Annabelle and Olivia, for your trust as well. And yeah, I think on my hand, I'm going to get a little aperitif. It's time.
It's time to celebrate.
I'm going to celebrate my win. That's my little win. So I'm going to put it on my journal right here and say, okay, I'm happy. And I can tell you each time you're facing a challenge, boom, you take the book, you have a look, and it's perfect. So thank you very much. And hopefully talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Have a good
See
evening.
you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.